In the early hours of January 3, 2026, the United States launched a military operation that shocked the world, a strike on Venezuela's capital, Caracas, that resulted in the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores. Never before had the US military seized a sitting head of state. This is Operation Absolute Resolve, how months of intelligence, diplomacy, cyber warfare and force converged in one night that altered the course of history. Long before the Dawn Raid, American intelligence had been working behind the scenes. The CIA's covert operations inside Venezuela, confirmed publicly by US officials, were aimed at monitoring drug trafficking and state corruption linked to Maduro's regime. President Trump authorized those efforts as early as late 2025, calling in multiple intelligence agencies to gather actionable information. Agents infiltrated networks, tracked key personnel movements, and built digital profiles of defensive systems around Caracas. At the same time, cyber units from US Cyber Command targeted Venezuela's communications, weakening their ability to respond effectively. In late December, a crucial turning point. President Trump issued a stark ultimatum: surrender or face consequences. As diplomatic pressure mounted, the Pentagon assembled one of the largest US force postures in the Caribbean in decades, including naval destroyers, carrier strike groups, and air wings ready for combat. At about 2 a.m. local time on January 3rd, a carefully orchestrated air campaign commenced. Over 150 US aircraft, including bombers, F-22 Raptors, F-35 Lightning II fighters, and EA-18G Growler electronic warfare jets, struck strategic air defense sites and radar arrays around Caracas, disabling Venezuela's ability to mount an effective aerial or missile response. The air attacks were surgical, hitting only defense infrastructure, not population centers, designed to blind and silence the Venezuelan military and clear the path for the ground assault. With air defenses neutralized, elite ground forces moved in. Delta Force, the US Army's most classified and capable unit, along with teams from the 160 Special Operations Aviation Regiment, inserted via Chinooks and MH-60 Black Hawks into Fort Tuna and nearby Maduro compound positions. Despite heavy resistance from Venezuelan and allied security forces, the Americans advanced on foot, clearing buildings and securing the target house. A US helicopter pilot involved in the operation was later reported wounded by ground fire, testimony to the intensity of the fight. By 3:29 a.m. Eastern Time, Maduro and his wife were aboard the USS Iwo Jima, bound for US custody. The entire sequence, from insertion to extraction, lasted only a matter of hours, leaving a stunned world to grapple with the reality of what had just occurred. According to reports from Venezuelan authorities, dozens were killed during the operation, including military personnel and foreign security forces, underscoring how violent the raid truly was. The global response was immediate and heated. The United Nations condemned the operation as a crime of aggression, while US allies offered cautious support or silence. Venezuela's interim leadership denounced the strikes as illegal and illegitimate, even as opposition figures welcomed the removal of Maduro. Russia and China denounced the attack, accusing Washington of violating international law and undermining state sovereignty, debates that now dominate diplomatic discussions worldwide. Maduro was transported to New York to face US federal narco-terrorism charges, marking the first time a head of state would be tried abroad by American courts. President Trump and US officials framed the operation as both a law enforcement action and a message, not just to Maduro's regime, but to global adversaries watching America's reach. Operation Absolute Resolve wasn't merely a raid. It was a confrontation of intelligence, firepower, and global power politics. Whether viewed as a bold triumph or a breach of international norms, it reshaped the geopolitical landscape and defined a new chapter in modern military history. Subscribe to Major USA for deep dives into the operations that shape our world.